Hi, I'm Johnny from UltimatePaperMache.com, and in my last video I showed you how to put a paper thin layer of paper mache clay over the Selfie-Monkey mask. The Selfie-Monkey mask pattern is all finished and it's now available out on my website at UltimatePaperMache.com/Selfie-Monkey. I know it's silly, but I had an awful lot of fun making it. And in this video I'm going to show you how I finished it. It's going to be a really short video because finishing it is really easy. As a matter of fact, the whole mask is really easy to do. Putting it together was really easy. There's not very many pieces to cut out. Taping it together is not that hard. There's a couple of slightly challenging places to work on, just because she has such a weird shape on her face. But it went together pretty fast. And then, as you saw in the last video, covering it with paper mache on the inside and paper mache on the outside, it really doesn't take much time. As soon as the paper mache clay was dry, I covered her entirely with an acrylic gesso. This gave a nice white ground so that it's going to be really easy to paint. As soon as the gesso was dry, I needed to add a crest. And crested macaques really do have kind of a top knot on top of their head, so they're really cool. And you can't see one on the Selfie-Monkey's self-portrait. And I don't know if that's because she was holding the camera practically under her chin so the crest doesn't show, or if she really didn't have one. But I really liked the ones that I've seen on the other crested macaques that I saw out on the internet, so I gave her one whether she's got one or not. I started out cutting some really thin pieces of cardboard. I thought that was what I was going to use. And then I went out to the garage and I got some onions for my lunch. And when I was holding the dried onion stalks, and I thought they looked kind of like a crest on a monkey. And I thought, hey, that'd be pretty cool. I'm going to use those instead. And so I cut off the bottom so that they were all even. And I added them to the top knot just by putting some hot glue on there and holding the cut bottoms onto the hot glue long enough for it to, so that the onion tops could stand up straight. I think raffia probably would have worked better. That's what I used on the mane for the lion, but I didn't have any left. I just used what I had, and I kind of like it. It's just weird, and Selfie-Monkey is weird, so it works out just fine. As soon as the hot glue was dry, I took it downstairs and I painted it with a spray can of Krylon black satin. I knew I wouldn't be able to get a brush down behind all those pieces of fur on her crest. It turned out just a little bit shinier than I wanted it to be. And it was also just a little bit too black. So I got out the ink color of chalk paint. It's a really, really dark gray. And I put that on over the black spray paint on everything except for the crest. And that turned out really nice. It dulled the shine. So that was something that I really liked. I just really didn't like the spray paint look. And I also was able to add just a little bit of white to the ink to kind of give her a few highlights on the areas where the sun is hitting the Selfie-Monkey, and she has that real nice lighter shine on certain parts of her face in the photograph. So I just put the lighter color across the top of her eyelids, down that rounded part underneath her eye, and then all the way down her nose. It's barely visible. I mean, if you were looking forward and if you actually were holding the Selfie-Monkey mask in your hand, it would be really hard for you to see that there was any difference at all. So I guess basically she's just all one color. I tried to make it a little bit more interesting, but it's just still very, very dark gray. It's always a little bit challenging to make something that's just one color interesting. It's just not easy to do. But in this case, I think it works, partly because you do have the variations in color because of the light, just exactly the same way that the light hits in different places on the photograph. We also have light hitting from different directions on the sculpture, so it's still going to work. And the fact that we've got a really weird shape and those bright orange eyes and the bright white teeth. I think altogether it really works. I painted the black around the corners of the eyes just like I saw in the photograph, and then used burnt sienna for the color. Turned out really nice. I added 2 white spots just above the pupils. The teeth are white just because of the white gesso, but they were a little bit too white. So I made them dirty by making a really, really light wash of the burnt sienna and then rubbing almost all of it off with a paper towel. So that's pretty much all there is to it. It's just really a simple project, but it's really, really weird, very silly, very strange. And if you make one, you'll be the only one in town who does. I can almost guarantee it. If you do make one, please come back to theultimatepapermache.com and show it off, because I would really love to see how you interpret the Selfie-Monkey when you make yourself a mask. As you probably know, I put all my masks on the wall, so I do use the back piece that's also included in the pattern, and it's just going to go right up there. Haven't decided exactly where, but you'll find her up there on my next video, because that's where I'm going to keep my Selfie-Monkey. If you want to make one of your own, you can find the pattern out on my website, ultimatepapermache.com/Selfie-Monkey. Go have fun with it, and then come on back and visit me, ultimatepapermache.com.